So hello and welcome. You're watching Revsportz. It's the same 9 p.m. show, and I don't know that how this coincidence happened that we all are in yellow today. We have done the yellow part of the IPL previews, and that's Chennai Super Kings. I don't know any other franchisee having that yellow in their jersey. I really don't know at this point of time. But yeah, today the two teams we're going to talk about is again we are coming from south to little on the southeast part and little on the southwest part. We are going first to Hyderabad, and then later on we'll conclude this video on Mumbai Indians. Two of the teams where batting is looking really solid. Uh, Obviously, Jasprit Bumrah on one side, and you can totally take that how important the bowling and how threatening the bowling lineup is looking like at this point of time. On the other hand, Pat Cummins is still not here. Some are saying that he is in Hyderabad. He will join the team as far as the playing member, little later. But apart from that, they have also some good options with them. We'll also talk about them. Ehsan Malinga is already there to replace. Pat Cummins is what the every preview is saying at this point of time. But let's start from Sunrisers Hyderabad. Shubhanda, when we are talking about Sunrisers Hyderabad, what are the key points you are looking at? Obviously, yesterday they played a warm up fixture, intra squad fixture. Abhishek played really well, some 40 ball 90. I'm hearing. I'm not sure about the exact score, but some 40 ball 90 runs there for Abhishek Sharma. He said in a later interview that he borrowed the bat from Shivam Dubey, in that particular final innings, and we all know that borrowing bat story as far as Abhishek Sharma is concerned. He asked from Shubman Gill also during the time of Zimbabwe series. But what do you think of this Sunrisers Hyderabad when you look at them? The things you find really well for them, and the other things you find on the lower side. What is about SRH in this particular season?
I I think their strength is definitely once again their batting unit, their top order,
Hmm.
especially Abhishek Sharma, Travis said these two will be in focus. Ishan Kishan at number three with his captaincy, the way he led Jharkhand is going to be, something which will be a point of interest for everyone, not only SRH fans, but others also will be looking at how Ishan Kishan leads this team because, ultimately we will at some point have to move on from Surya Kumar Yadav, the India captain. So all these players, beat Shreyas Iyer, beat Ishan Kishan, beat Ruturaj Gaikwad, Sanju Samson would have been a better choice in my opinion. But all these players will be under focus as to look Shubman Gill, Gujarat Titans, as to who could be the next T20I captain in the largest scheme of things. I'm not saying that Surya Kumar Yadav will be immediately replaced, but ultimately he's also 35, 36 now. By the time the next World Cup comes, he will be 37, 38. You never know his fitness, his form, anything can happen. But at the same time, Ishan Kishan's captaincy will be under focus just because of that. If he can replicate what he did with Jharkhand, with the bat, he scored more than 500 runs in Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy. If he does the same thing in IPL with SRH, then I think it will be a huge boost for Ishan Kishan's candidature as a future leader for the Indian team as well. So that is something which I am looking forward to. Apart from that, how Nitish Kumar Reddy goes about his business, what his role in the team will be, whether he'll be batting at number 4, 5-ish role, or whether they will be using him as finisher. That is to be seen. Of course, they have a Liam Livingstone as well who can come down the order and hit sixes. So the roles of Livingstone and Nitish Kumar Reddy will define their batting explosion, what entry points they are looking towards when it comes to these two players, and of course whether they want to use and of course Heinrich Klaasen. He has not played a lot of international cricket. Whether that's the same Heinrich Klaasen we saw in the 2024 edition from 22 to 24, it was the peak of Heinrich Klaasen. But whether that is the same Heinrich Klaasen who could repay how much was he went for 24 CR, 22 24 CR was
23,
his
21, 21.
23.75.
21,
23.75.
21. So
21.
whether they can he can repay that kind of money. Last year was a disaster for him, but whether he can bounce back and repay that fate of SRS spending such amount of money, that will be interesting. But their bowling unit is weak. Once again, they have added a lot of bowlers, but
Okay.
without Pat Cummins, I don't know how
And Mohammad
strong
Shami
their
also
bowling
they have
unit.
traded.
Yes, they
Mohammad
have
Shami is
traded
also
Mohammad
now
Shami.
in
They
LSG.
have Shivam Mavi. They have Harshal Patel. They have Jaydev Unadkat.
Yeah.
They have
Ehsan
a
Malinga.
few all round. They have Ehsan Malinga. They have a very good all rounder in Harsh Dubey. Cranes
Yeah.
Pulitra is a new addition to their spin department. So I don't know uh, whether this bowling unit can sustain that highly aggressive cricket that we have seen in the IPL in the last couple of years. So,
Okay.
in
Okay.
my opinion, that
Okay.
lower middle order plus their bowling unit remains a concern.
Weber, coming to the bowling part, because batting wise, we all know that it's really a heavy advantage for Sunrisers Hyderabad as far as their batting is concerned. Yes, they have to see this around what was not present there in last season, that how aware they are about the game situation, because there were many occasions when they were just going for every ball. And we saw how Indian team also played a very aggressive brand of cricket in T20 World Cup. But there was this difference, and I remember asking this question to Akash Chopra. My first question as far as the cricketing things are concerned was related to this only, that sometimes there's this, we say that a very minute difference between game awareness and then showing the intent. Do you think that this will be the part of conversation in Sunrisers Hyderabad dugout this time around? That yes, playing intentful cricket is really necessary. Scoring 200, 250 is really important, but you have to see the game awareness also. And do you think that there will be no chance of this 300 this time around? We stopped as far as Indian team is concerned. Also, the broadcaster kept on saying before the T20 World Cup last time around, we also, before that LSG game, everyone was saying ये तो 300 वाला गेम है भाई, आज तो 300 बनेंगे. वो जीत भी नहीं पाई SRH उस मुकाबले को. Credit goes to Lord Thakur. But what you think will be the important discussions around Sunrisers Hyderabad this time around?
See, first things first, they need to sort their playing combination. I think without Pat Cummins and Shubhanda also said that without Pat Cummins, they have to first identify who's the leader of the bowling attack. In my opinion, it will be Harshal Patel, the most experienced of them all, and also he's the purple cap. He has one purple cap in IPL as well. So I think Harshal Patel and Ishan Malinga will start for me. I think because Ishan Malinga, for what he did last year with SRH, he was retained. So I think these two will start. I think the key will be to identify who will be your third pacer, whether it's Shivam Mabi, whether it's Sakib Hussain, or whether it's Praful Hinge. So you have to identify among these three, and then
They
obviously
have
in
a
spin
Jaidev
bowling,
Unadkat as well.
they have Jaydev Unadkat as well. So yeah, so they have to identify that third pacer who is going to be the third pacer. I think for me, Harshal Patel and Ishan Malinga will start, and then they have a
Hmm.
Bryden Cars as well. Last season he was not available. This season he is available. He is fit. So this is another good thing for them because Bryden Cars can bat as well. And obviously their spin bowling attacks. Last year they relied a lot on Jishan Ansari. He impressed as well.
Yeah.
Yesterday he dismissed Ishan Kishan as well, and the video of him, sending that send off is going viral.
Send
So,
off
but
visual, yeah.
Cranes, yeah, the Cranes Fuletra part, the left arm wrist spinner, that adds variety to this bowling attack. How they will find a place for him, how they will accommodate him, that will be a challenge to identify your bowling resources and identify your playing 11, and then go about your strategy that how you will approach this season. It shouldn't be the repeat of the last season. Otherwise, SRH will suffer this season as well because Heinrich Klaasen hasn't played a lot of cricket. Travis Head has been out of form. If you look at his World Cup, only I think one half century he managed to score. So Travis hasn't scored a lot of runs in T20 cricket. If you look at the past 12 months, so it is not the same old SRH batting lineup which was there in 2024. So they have to identify the right approach, the right way of going about the things, not taking the old baseball approach which England have adopted, and it has been a problem for them. So SRH should be mindful of these things while they approach this season.
Okay, so I think SRH is very much clear, as far as their team is concerned. Obviously, things make a lot of sense when Pat Cummins will come back, and it will be easier for them to draw a playing 11 or include an impact player and then a playing 12. In this particular season. But just one small reaction from both of you: RCB versus SRH, the curtain raiser. Uh, who do you think is looking more solid? They are missing Pat Cummins. They are missing, Josh Hazelwood. Two of their premier bowlers won't be the part of this side. But apart from that, one team, obviously the Jacob Bethels and Virat Kohli, obviously without a say. And I was reading this article of our very own Bharat Ramraj, and he wrote that the first ball Virat Kohli played, he drove it over cover. The second ball of Mangesh Yadav he played, he just pulled it. So the message is quite clear and loud. He want to express himself, and there won't be that pressure that we won't want the trophy. The trophy is here. So must be a very relaxed RCB side, and on the other hand, there are these two superstars who are winning the most important part of winning the T20 World Cup with Indian team, Ishan Kishan and Abhishek Sharma. How do you see this, Shubhanda?
I think RCB are favorites. They have a
RCB
slightly
favorites.
better bowling department. Even without Josh Hazlewood, I would say they have the experience there. So I would
Hmm.
say in the batting department, they bat till number 8, number 9, number 10. So they have that explosiveness in there. I'm not ruling out SRH completely, but as Webber also said, they need to figure out what their best playing 11 is, and that might take you 3 4 matches to find out the best 11. So RCB from a very well settled lineup. They have the
Okay.
experience of that confidence of winning the last season plus playing in front of Chinnaswamy. I think they have that advantage.
Okay. Weber, RCB or SRH?
Definitely RCB. Just that bowling part. Although RCB
Hmm.
will be missing Josh Hazelwood, like SRH will
Hmm.
be
Hmm.
missing Pat Cummins. But I think on the experience part, obviously you have a Krunal Pandya, you have a Suresh Sharma.
Yeah.
On other side, you have a Harsh Dubey and Zishan Ansari. So you have definitely there's more experience to RCB bowling, and the given the form of the RCB batters, I think they can outbat SRH if they bat first. I think they can do that. If
Okay.
the
Okay.
RCB is batting first, I think better chances of winning.
Okay. Guys, we have kept a low amount of time, very less amount of time for Mumbai Indians, and that's because they don't have anything to discuss upon. There's what I can say,
Complete.
the complete team in this season. Everything's looking sorted. You have a World Cup winning captain there. You have the number one all rounder there. You have the number one T20 bowler there. Means not going by ranking at this point of time, but going by the impact. We all know that there is no rankings for Jasprit Bumrah. No rankings can measure his impact at this point of time. And obviously we have the legacy of Rohit Sharma. We have someone like a Tilak Verma who, again, I'm saying this, don't give him that number 3 spot. Weber, where Tilak Verma is playing in your playing 11 as far as Mumbai Indians is concerned, I'm ready to go Hardik Pandya at number 4. No problem with that. Play Surya Kumar Yadav number 3. Number 4 could be Hardik Pandya. Number 5 could be Tilak Verma. What's your playing 11? I really want to know, because first thing I really want to know is about, are you going with a Ryan Rickelton or with a Quinton de Kock? What about in the lower order? How do you see the finish part? Because Namandhir, I won't say struggled, but he's not your finished product as far as finisher tag is concerned. And then yeah, first of all, Ryan Rickelton or Quinton de Kock.
See, I think this is a big this is going to be a big toss up between these two players.
Hmm.
Both are quality players, but just by going by the
Sure.
form, I think Ryan Rickelton should be given an audit. He was there last year and he had a great
Yeah.
SA20 as well. And
Yeah.
Quinton de Kock didn't score many runs in T20 World Cup, so I think Ryan
Yeah.
Rickelton
Yeah.
should
Yeah.
start.
Yeah. Shubhanda, just want to add one more thing, that the approach of Ryan Rickelton is more aggressive than Quinton de Kock. Quinton de Kock, in his younger days, obviously we all know what he can do. Obviously, 6 years back, he was the main man. When you talk about Mumbai Indians and their legacy, it's obviously Quinton de Kock with those 400 plus seasons in 2019 and 2020. But if you want Rohit Sharma to take his time, I really don't want to see him taking a lot of time there. But if he wants to, then Ryan Rickelton could be the perfect man to allow him that particular time. What do you think about this particular change?
I feel given the experience and of course the past history, past relationship as well, Quinton de Kock will start ahead of Ryan Nicholton. Yes, Ryan
Uh,
Nicholton is now a more explosive version of Quinton de Kock, but Quinton de Kock, given the experience, also I think they will start with Quinton de Kock. If it doesn't perform, then I think Ryan Nicholton is your should be your priority opener along with Rohit Sharma. So this is a toss up. Another player, I don't know whether they will use him as a finisher or not, but Will Jacks can also be one player who can which
That's
I
that's my next question. That's my next question.
mm,
That when it comes to, I think they bought, who they bought. I think Scherf and Rutherford. They,
rather
uh,
follow.
Traded,
yeah, so
traded.
traded from Gujarat Titans, and that's one thing. When we'll discuss Gujarat Titans, I really wanted to know that what's the reason of this particular trade, because Scherf and Rutherford, especially the way he played in Gujarat Titans. Now I want to know from you guys, are you going to go with so look at this. My playing 11 will be Rohit Sharma, Ryan Rickelton. Number 3, I'll go with Surya Kumar Yadav. Number 4, I'll go with Hardik Pandya. Number 5 will be a Tilak Verma. Number 6 will be, I can go with a Naman Dheer also, but I'll put a Will Jacks there. Before Ashraf and Rutherford, because of the bowling, he gives, and the amount of bowling he did in the T20 World Cup, and especially that wicket taking ability of his. I think that he could be my number 6, and then number 7 I can go with a Namandhir, and number 8, then I have to see that who I have to take,
Shardul.
whether I have to. No, not going for Shardul in my initial 11. I want to take a mid Santner there. Santner is
Yeah.
really good with the bat, and then I have Allah Gazanfar also. And the amount of talking was there as far as Allah Gazanfar is concerned in last season also. There will be huge chances of him getting into the squad, and then Mayank Markande also. They have bought Mayank Markande also, so he could be there at number 8, and then number 9, obviously Jasprit Bumrah, number 10, Trent Bolt, and number 11, Deepak Chahar. Batting order wise, yes, you can promote Deepak Chahar a little earlier, and then number 12 as per conditions. Because I think I have only used my 3 overseas player. That is Ryan Rickelton.
So you are not
Number 2
using trend
was
bolt.
no, I'm using Trent Bolt. I'm using Trent
Okay.
Bolt. So my number 2 is Scherf and Rutherford, and then number 3 is, so I have the option of using a overseas player also, or a domestic player also. But as per you, Shubhanda, what will be your in these two? Are you going with a Scherf and Rutherford or with a Will Jacks?
My 4 overseas players would be Quinton de Kock, number 1, Allah
Mm,
Ghazanfar, number
mm,
2, Will Jacks.
yeah.
The kind of form he was in the World Cup, I am pretty sure I am
So
going
you
to
are
use
going
Will
with
Jacks.
both. Are you going with both Scherf and Rutherford and Will Jacks? No.
That's a bit tricky. I think that will depend on conditions and the oppositions as well. But
So one you
for
are
me,
saying Quinton de Kock. One you are saying
Quinton
Quinton
de
de
Kock
Kock.
is number 1. Quinton
Two,
de Kock is
two you
number
are
1.
saying Will
Allah
Jacks.
Ghazanfar is number 2. Allah Ghazanfar
Will
has to
Jacks
be
is
there.
number 3.
Will Jacks is number 3. So Quinton de Kock, Allah Ghazanfar, Will Jacks, and now this toss up is
Trent
between
Bolt.
Trent Bolt and Sharpan
It's
Rutherford. If you are playing all of Shardul Thakur, you are playing Deepak Chair, you are playing Jasprit Bumrah, then I don't think you need. Or Ashwani Kumar is also there. Then I don't think you need a Trent Bolt. You can go with
okay.
and bolster your batting a bit. You can play a Sharpan Rutherford there. If you are not, you don't rely on a Shardul Thakur to do the damage, then you can drop a Sharpan Rutherford and bring in a Trent Bolt there to pair up with Jasprit Bumrah or Deepak Chair, whoever you want to.
Okay, Vaibhav, your choice between Will Jackson, Scherf, and Rutherford,
I think
and your 4
Will Jack
overseas
should
also.
Will Jack should start, given his form. He took wickets as well. He
Yeah.
excelled as a
Mm.
finisher. That's the main part
Yes.
because he started his career as a top order batter. Now he excelled as a finisher. So I think he's more comfortable in that role, which England gave him. And he has taken good wickets, important wickets last
Yeah.
season with his off spin. So I think that should give him the
And in
nod
this
there
World
because
Cup also.
yeah, Sharfin Rutherford hardly bowls nowadays, so he's more or like
Mm.
a batter, proper batter, especially in bottom.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you are going for an all-round option, I think Will Jacks, and then talking about the 4 overseas options, I think Ryle Rickelton for me. But again, I also feel like, as I told you also in personal, that I think Quinton de Kock will start. The moment they bought him in the auction, I told you that this might be tilted towards Quinton de Kock. So I think Quinton de Kock, realistically, although I want Ryan Rickelton, then Mitchell Santer. Will Jacks and then Trent Bolt. These will be my
So he's
4th player.
not
I will
playing
pick.
Allah Ghazanfar. He's going
Yes,
with
I will
Mitchell
pick.
Santner.
Yes, just because Mitchell Sandner also has excelled with the bat, so he gives you more depth. You have more depth in your batting lineup.
I am only going with 3 options, and they will be Ryan Rickelton, they will be Will Jacks, and there will be Mitch Santner. One option I'll keeping, as per conditions and the situation, and then I'll use my 4th overseas or any Indian option also. So there we have this particular, two teams preview. First one is obviously Sunrisers Hyderabad going to play the curtain raiser also, and the second team, I think Mumbai is playing the second game if I'm not wrong.
Yeah,
They
KKR, I
are
think.
yeah.
playing
KKR, yes,
on the second day
Wankhede.
versus KKR. I hope that Shubhanda is not going to Wankhede, because last time when he went for a KKR versus MI game in Wankhede, what Ashwini Singh has done, I think he's he's quite good to KKR. But talking about Shubhanda, I think he's now bettering his own record. India won the World Cup. He was there in the stadium. So congratulations to Shubhanda on that part also. But yeah, thank you so much, guys. We'll come up with the other two teams also. One in the extreme, not extreme, but one on the east side where Shubhanda is sitting at this point of time. We'll talk about Kolkata Knight Riders, and one on the very west. It's Gujarat Titans. So we are going by the geography, and these two teams will feature tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching this video. Like, share, subscribe. Do let us know your playing 11s, your overseas, and your combinations of these two teams, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.